All right, we are back live again.
Again.
And
Hello.
yes, correct. So, tonight we read chapter 1 of or you read chapter 1 of Modus Operandi. I read chapter 1 of Ryuki's Way. My my upcoming novel, yours is already published.
Yeah. I have other books, but this is the one that I felt like would do best in a live reading tonight.
I thought it went really well.
Thank you. I enjoyed yours too. I think I caught a lot more, this time around from your reading than when I first read it, and I did kind of go over that a little bit at the time at the show that your writing style lends very well to being read aloud, to have a performance attached to it.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
yours was super enjoyable. That was a lot of fun to listen to. That was a lot of fun. Just, yeah. Definitely tell the difference between a novelist and mine seems a lot like, okay, the reality is mine reads a lot more like a television Bible or a graphic novel outline.
Right, yeah.
And I recognize that. I just don't know what to do about that because I stumbled into something, a realization. A few different people have, especially my more well readers, have pointed out that I do have my own style. Which,
Yep. No, that's for sure.
in this era of I think that might be the best possible thing for me.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even
Because
thought about that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because AI is always going to try to do like the most technically perfect. It's going to try to do this, it's going to try to do that. So there has been like a thing in my mind going, is anybody going to believe that I actually wrote this? And the fact that I actually have my own style kind of forces that.
hmm
So I don't know if I should get better.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between getting better and changing your style. Those are two different things. And
Yes.
you're going to get, and here's the thing. I got bad news for you, Brad. You're going to get better whether you like it or not. That's
Yeah,
the
that's
nature of this beast. Yeah.
yeah, the more you do it, it's just going to happen. And I have
Yeah.
already noticed that. I know you haven't seen anything of the second book yet, but no, the second book actually starts like a novel. It's like the first 3 chapters are a good slow burn with some good detail, world building, and just
Nice.
hints of that
There
like
you go. Yeah, see?
stuff.
Yeah. And
No,
didn't it's weirdly satisfying dropping those hints in, isn't it? Just like that
so
you,
much.
you giggle to yourself a little bit, like going, "Oh, if whoever catches this is going to be so proud of themselves, and I'm proud of them too. This is going to be fun." Like, oh, it's like a little game I get to play with my readers that neither of us realize we're playing.
I completely understand what you're talking about there because I have a few things like one of my chapters. There's a character who, a seedy character, but you don't know this character is seedy yet. So they're doing something to like comfort a character, but that is not what's happening. One person caught it. And I was like, you are like my new favorite person on this planet. Like, I thought that was so subtle that I might need to take it out or elaborate on
Yeah.
it. But one person saved my life on that one. I'm like, oh, I love you.
That's all it takes. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
No, I completely understand that. Did want to give a shout out to Jennifer Willis. She is an editor that Doc put me in contact with. I did start that conversation.
You hear back?
I heard back. We have been talking a little bit. She's going to take a look at the first couple chapters, and we're going to talk what the price is going to be. This is a very expensive person, so I am, and
But I can tell you from experience, she's worth it. She is fantastic, and she's
That's kind of one of those
fantastic to
things
work
when you
with.
have
Yeah.
like 30 books that you've put out there and you've edited how many? Like, no,
Right.
she is a professional. I am looking forward to it. And I did give her my 1-line description that I just came up with while I was writing the email.
Right.
And when she messaged me, she's like, this is not the kind of thing I usually do. This isn't the kind of story I usually work with. But I really love your 1-line description. And I'm like, lucky!
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. No,
Because
see,
that was
that's the
not
thing, is,
planned
like,
out. Yeah.
She is just as much, and that's kind of what's wonderful about this. She is just as much a fan of the craft as she is good at the craft herself. That's kind of what makes her special. Is that this is she is also going to be your target audience on top of being a really solid professional as far as making this all work. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've known her for years. She's fantastic. Love her to death. I think you guys are going to, she may be better for you than me in helping you out as a writer. Honestly, she is brilliant.
Well, I know that she does a lot of stuff with witches, and a little bit of a spoiler, book 2 has a lot to do with the witchcraft.
Right.
Which, man, oh my God. Dude, it's like the universe wants me to write this story, because I think I told you about this a little bit. There's a section in book 2 that some characters are having some really bad things happen to them. And this character, in true history, like in our history, in world history, this character's nickname was the Hammer of Heretics. And I'm like, dude, come on. Then I found out that this guy, there's no record over how this guy died. I'm like, oh, the things I'm gonna do to this guy. Like, I can't.
No.
I cannot wait to take
gift.
just the the fictional vengeance that I'm gonna take for like hundreds or thousands of people. All right.
Yeah, and this is how the universe balances it out. I remember. God, what was it? There was this. You may. This is a little old school, but do you know Prairie Home Companion? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. I never know. Like some, NPR folks don't always, make it out into the mainstream, so it's like
all right.
But yeah, one of the bits they had in there once was like, the adventures of the English major, the adventures of the English major, and he's just like this, know-it-all kind of posh guy who just seems to, has no powers, but is like able to talk people into anything because he just has such a
one of
command
those types.
Language kind of, yeah. And that was one of, some dude's bullying him, is basically the scene. And he says to him, he goes, "Sir, you might want to be careful how you treat me. I could immortalize you in an unflattering way."
That is a line I have heard a few times over. We actually brought up on, I brought up on this channel a line like that delivered from Paul Bettany in A Knight's Tale, where he was playing Geoffrey Chaucer.
Right. Yes.
I will immortalize you in prose.
Right.
Like,
yes.
Yes. That is what a fantastic. I was not a writer at that time, and that was already just screaming into my soul. Like, I was like, oh, ooh, what a line. But honestly, man, Paul Bettany gets all the best lines.
He does, doesn't he? It's kind of unfair.
One of the single, I mean, I know you don't want to talk about the MCU all that much, but one of the, I think, in my opinion, the single greatest line in all the Marvel movies, set aside from the original Blade film, some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill. That's kind of tough to beat. But when Paul...
25 years and that line still makes me laugh out loud. I mean, come on. How do you beat that?
That line was something that Wesley Snipes said about Deacon Frost, the character, during a production meeting, and they had to keep it in.
Yep.
Like, and I completely agree. That is outstanding. But the actual best line of all the Marvel movies is Paul Bettany as Vision in the WandaVision series, which very well done, but a lot of people did not like. What is grief but love persevering?
Yep.
What a line.
Profound. Yeah. No, that's a hell of a thing. Yeah. No, that's definitely a line that stuck with me for a long time as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's the kind of line that you like look up after you're done watching the episode and go,
Is
Was that
from something? Yeah.
Aristotle? Plato?
Right, exactly.
Like what?
Yeah. There's no way this absolute soul drop of a quote just came from the Disney Channel. Fuck no. Like,
But there was, that one line that we were talking about that from my book about. I don't want to say it right now because I have that irrational yet rational fear of somebody stealing my lines before I publish them. Like, it's just one of those things. But it's the one that I'm talking about is reference to Simurg and seeding the world and the farmer and the crop.
right. Okay. Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah. I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
one of my beta readers messaged me. He's like, that feels like a quote from like a really famous philosopher or something like that. And I sat back and went,
Yep.
I know people are going to shred this. They're going to say it sucks. It's the worst thing that they ever read. All this stuff. Fuck them.
Yeah. No.
This feels so good to have other people love something that you just. I love it. I'm addicted.
Oh yeah, no, it never goes away. That's the thing, man. Is like you build a tolerance for most drugs. Not this one. This one hits just as good every time. Yeah, for sure.
That's a quote. that belongs on something cross-stitched.
TM Jonathan M's. That one's mine. Keeping it forever.
There you go. You still need to cross-stitch my apparently made-up quote that I've been saying for a long time and never realized that it was something that I came up with.
Which one was it? That again?
Like
I must have written it down somewhere.
No, like when something confuses me to a level of like when I say my brain took a shit on itself.
Oh right, yes, that's right. Yeah. You
After,
thought for sure you were quoting like
100%.
You thought it was like Big Trouble in Little China or something like that, but that line's not in there or nothing. Yeah.
No, I asked AI. I looked on Google. I'm like, is there where did this come from? And they're like, I have no record of that ever. And I'm like, huh.
Wow. Yeah.
I think it's kind of like that fraud syndrome or imposter syndrome where like you come up with something that's like, no way I came up with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've done that like 4 times at least throughout my book, though, that I've come up with something and I've researched the hell out of it to go, that was in my subconscious somewhere. I did not come up with that. I am not that smart. Apparently, things kick in.
Yeah, well, and that's one of my deeper philosophies is this, that mankind in general is far more massively creative than we give ourselves credit for. We only really give credit to the people who are repeatedly creative, like your Stephen King types, your mini gold records and stuff like that. Normal, everyday people can have an absolute stroke of genius 5 or 6 times in their lives. Not anywhere near enough to make a living off of, but can still, if peppered properly, can still be a benefit to the world.
I see that.
We found that out thanks to Tumblr. The number of absolutely insane strokes of genius that have changed whole societies' minds just from one random person whose name will never be known throughout all of history, typing some random thought into Tumblr and hitting publish, and that reverberates across the world. They may or may not even be aware of how famous they've just become. Who knows? But that's
got an example?
No, not off the top of my head.
Because the one that I can come up with is, now I know the proper way to open potato chips.
I remember that one. That's a good one. I think one of my personal favorites came to me. This was actually a conversation between multiple people on Tumblr. It was presented to me in the form of a comic strip where someone took the different lines from this conversation and put them up against screen grabs from the original Star Trek. So it looked like a conversation between Kirk and Spock, which just added a whole nother level to it. And it was Kirk, thinking off to the world, why am I not a banana? And that was followed up by Spock saying, like, well, it's because of your DNA. You only share about 40 to 50% of the same DNA as a banana. And because of and the rest of it is what makes you human. Followed again by Kirk saying, hey, thanks, man. And then Scotty stepping in and going, do you mean to tell me that some people are 10% more banana than others? And that has been stuck in my head for, I think, 10 years now since I first saw that. Some people are 10% more banana than others.
I don't like that our lighting makes me more yellow than you in this conversation. Fucking tomato.
I think we have firmly established in the past that I am a potato, sir. You said so yourself many times that I'm a potato.
I said one time you are an emotionally stable potato. But no, when you laugh, this shit turns red. That is about as red as, because for me it's like the same thing happens, but like only like right across here. You get the whole thing.
I think it might be because my white balance is off on this camera. I'd have to play with it, but but yeah.
No,
I like the way the blue lights come out the way it is now. I'm fine with me being a weird color as long as my blue lights look pretty.
There's based off the time that we start this show, there's no way that my lighting is ever going to stay consistent because
not in that room, no.
No, I got the sun going down. No, I kind of gave up on that, but doing tonight's read, man, that really went well. I'm actually really excited to go back over the footage and look at that because, like I said earlier, I can't hear myself anymore because I have a delay for some reason this episode. So I turned the monitor off. So I have no idea. Usually I can hear myself and I can just kind of autocorrect as I'm going. I couldn't do that this time, so I'm really curious how those voices worked.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you from where I was sitting, that was actually one of the things I noticed was like this, like even if this was a recording for like the audiobook version, like these are some solid takes, man. Like you didn't slip up very often. Yeah. Your voices all kind of like you fell into your different character voices right on the first try. Except for one. There was one that felt a little bit off, but but that's the thing. It's for as far as like doing your first chapter in one take, it was really good. Like, like I think I doubt, like, in the safety of knowing that you can do multiple takes, you probably wouldn't have done as well. I think having the live pressure kind of, it kicked in some kind of like live performer instinct where you were like, no, I'm really going to nail it this time.
That is the sink or swim. Yeah, I've noticed that for like back when I was doing gigs, back when I was going, oh my God, especially when I was doing comedy. Like I was doing stand-up comedy down in LA for a while, and I would be just... You
never told me about that. That's got to be a story.
I did not tell many people about it. I didn't tell anybody to come and watch. I didn't, nothing. I went out there, I tried material, I told stories I should not tell. And, but here's the thing, and this is why it actually kind of works that we're doing a podcast. The note that I would keep getting, because I would go up on open mic nights, and have you ever done open mic comedy nights, any of that?
Comedy? No. I've done open mic poetry slams, but that's not the same thing.
Nah, I don't think I'd be good at that. But I went up there, and I had no idea what I was going to do. So I was like, screw it. I got a lot of embarrassing stories where I am the subject of embarrassment. Let's hit it. So I just went into a... We're on the podcast. Here we go.
There you go. Let's do this.
This is so bad. It's not a bad story. It's just a weird story for me. So, I'm 18, 19 years old. I'm in basic training. 19 years old. I'm in basic training, and I'm in the shower one day, scrubbing up, everything like that, washing myself, sudsing down, and I reach to my nether bits, and I'm like, okay, why is this one the size of an orange?
Oh no! Oh no!
Now, because I'm a 19-year-old boy, what do? I don't think immediately, hospital! I think there's a naked guy standing right next to me showering. Yo, dude, look at this. First instinct.
Yeah.
And my
sure.
buddy in the shower, New York guy, black guy, pretty homophobic, all this. He looks at me, he's just like, dude, what? Like, and he's just like, the look on his face was like, I've known you for months, man. I had no idea this is like the betrayal on his face. And I'm like, nah, man, no. Look at my nut. So he does, and like he's
That
like,
doesn't
oh my
make it better.
God. No, it really didn't. But he did, and then he like freaks out. I was like, oh my God. So the first thing second thing, I get dressed and I go around to 76 members of my platoon because everybody wanted to see it. And I'm just like, we do not have a lot of entertainment here. This is hilarious. I have a power to make every member of my platoon laugh their asses off. I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to do this. So,
You know
You
what?
have a question.
The only thing that doesn't make this story so horrible is the fact that you're sitting here telling it to me now, so I know you don't end up dead. But that was if you were telling this third person of someone else, I'd be like, oh God, no, oh, what happened? Come on, man, get to the point. Is he alive today?
oh yeah, no, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So, because I'm an H, my last name, I'm in second platoon, and we're in the middle. You got first on the first, second on the second floor, third on the third. You know, and all of the women that we were trained with us, they were on the first floor on the other side of the drill sergeant's office. So no hanky panky stuff.
Okay.
So I go down there and I knock on the drill sergeant's office. Private Hackworth reports. The whole thing. And I just was like, "The hell you want, Hackworth?" I was like, "I need a sick call slip." He goes, "Sick call was about an hour ago. What's wrong with you?" And I turn around, I look, and I see all the female soldiers behind me. And I turn back around to him. I'm like, it's private, drill sergeant. And I just hear him go, and I don't see him. I just hear this voice coming out of the office. It's like, "What, your dick turned green?" And I just kind of like, kinda? Because I don't know what's going on underneath the surface. But this is what I see. And then, like, his head, like, his body followed his head out of the door. But, like, that's the first thing that happened is he, like, poked his head out and then looked down at my junk. And then, like, walked out. And he's like, "What's going on, Private?" And I tell him, I'm like, "Drill Sergeant, I have an enlarged testicle." And he's like, "Show me." The only time in my entire, all of basic training, the only time that I did not say, "Yes, Drill Sergeant, no, Drill Sergeant," the only time that I broke was this moment. And I looked at him, I went, "What?" He was like, "What, are you afraid to show me your dick, Private?" So he turns around and walks into the drill sergeant office, and I'm like, "You don't say that to me." So I dropped trowel. I got my bum like showing to all the female soldiers behind me. And the drill sergeant comes out of his office with the sick call slip. He was not actually asking. He was making a joke. Went into the office, came out with it. I'm standing there with my trousers around my ankles, and I'm showing it. He's like, "Huh. Damn, Private." And I'm like, that is not the compliment I want it to be, but I'm still going to take it.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
I
Every
pull up
win counts.
Yep. So I pull up my shorts and I turn around. I look at the female soldiers. Drill sergeant's still right behind me. So I'm like, "Don't say anything to get in trouble." And I'm like, and I started looking. I was like, and I walked upstairs. The next morning, I'm in formation. Before we go do our physical training in the morning, they have all the sick soldiers fall out. They have their own formation, and then they go to the hospital. Before they had the soldiers fall out of formation, I hear my Dominican drill sergeant, Medrano. This guy is my straight up hero. As far as the Army is concerned, my time, everything like that, hero. He calls me up. He's like, Ackworth, get in here. And I was like, oh shit. And like, so I grab my buddy and we go in. And he like slowly and all intimidating in front of all the soldiers walks me into the bathroom. In the bathroom, there are 10 drill sergeants with the round browns and everything, arms crossed and all of it. And like, I go in there, it's just me and one other soldier looking at all these guys. And they're like, you know what we want to see, Private. So I start laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh, this is a human moment. And I'm like, you know what? I made all the privates laugh. Now I'm going to make the drill sergeants laugh.
Wow. Okay.
So I did, and there was another drill sergeant. This dude's name was Wedderbrock. Man, came up to like here on me and had a point to prove. Oh, this guy I think he hated me, but when you're training soldiers, if the ones that you're the meanest to tend to be the ones you're rooting for the most. Okay, so I really don't know. I'm gonna say I hated him though.
Okay.
But as soon as I did that, this little dude jumps like 5 feet off the ground. His knees like come up to his shoulders and he lands in a crouched position and goes, holy crap, that thing's as big as my face. So I've been there laughing, like just this whole thing is too funny for me. I get out, I go back into formation, all that. But before I get out, Medrano, this huge Dominican hand just bam right on my shoulder. And he stops it, and he's got his composure back. He's not laughing anymore. He's got that mean look on his face. And he's like, privates, you should all be jealous of this soldier. He's got bigger balls than all of you.
Oh, good Lord.
So,
why are you not already in the hospital? Fuck is wrong with you people?
The laugh was so worth it. All the laughter that whole day, amazingly worth it. It's 20 years later, I'm still laughing my ass off about this story.
Oh, man.
So I tell that story and like the light flashed and everything like that, and then they turned it off to let me finish my story. Like,
oh, nice.
It was all. Okay. It was awesome. I got off, and the MC like called me over. He's like, "Man, you were funny. You were in on it. Like it was good. Everything like that. You didn't have a single punchline the entire time you were up there, man."
Yep, that was it. Yeah, that was a story. There were no jokes. It was just a fully humorous story. Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying like everybody was having fun. Everybody was laughing like off and on throughout the whole thing, but there was no punchline. So like the MC was kind of like guiding me through it over a few times of me like going through and trying that. Never got good. But I mean, the pandemic hit and everything like that. Like a lot of things happened, and I just never tried again.
Okay. Interesting.
No, but the end of that story that I'm kind of sure you're curious about.
Oh yeah. What did the doctor say? What did
So I had a lot of injuries, and when you have a lot of injuries in that particular area, sports injuries, heavy trauma, what can happen is you don't there's drainage issues, and not like leaking issues, the exact opposite. It reaches a certain point and then there's a clog that was there. So instead of the proteins being reabsorbed back into my body, I was apparently prepping to be a porn star.
Sure. Yeah.
So when I got to basic training, and because here's the deal, the drill sergeants even tell you, the nurses tell you, they all tell you it's awkward. There's a lot of guys here. We get it. We understand. You still need to try to push one out at least once a week to stay healthy.
Sure, yeah.
I couldn't do it. Months I was there, and I could never do it. So that was the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. No, that makes sense, because I remember that was when I got my vasectomy. That was one of the things that they warned me about as an aftercare type thing. Same thing. They were like, you got to kind of You got to make sure at least once a week. And I was like, oh, no problem there. Don't you worry, sir. I got that covered.
See, that's the funny thing. When I got my vasectomy, it was happening at the same time that I was having the surgery to get that fixed.
Okay.
Oh. That happens from time to time with Doc. I think if you're a regular viewer, you know that by now. He'll be back on in just a few seconds. No, that story was, yeah. That was a story that has gotten many laughs throughout the years, for sure.
That was spooky, because at the exact same instant that your camera cut out for me, at the exact same moment, the heater vent turned off. So for a half a second there, I thought I had a full blackout, except that my lights were still on somehow, and so I was very confused.
So you just walked into that episode of Buffy.
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
What is that called? Hush? Is that what that one's called?
Oh yeah. No, and that's one of their classes. It was like
that is one of the best episodes of television. That's right up there with The Last of Us, the Frank and Bill and Frank episode.
Bill and Frank, yeah. Oh God, yeah. No, that's. I am gonna rewatch season 1 of Last of Us before I watch season 2, because that's definitely something that it's not like I need to. I know I don't got to catch up on anything, but fuck it.
It was that good.
It was really, really good. Yeah.
That was. Speaking of another show, Kel and I have been accidentally binging. Have you heard of Hellbound?
Hellbound does not ring a bell. No.
Korean show on Netflix and reached top 10 in 93 different countries. The outside of America, the visual effects are actually catching up. So these incredible stories and all that personally I have a hard time getting invested in something if the creature I'm supposed to be afraid of looks campy or stupid or like I can't do it. Foreign countries, like their studios, the ease of technology, the money that they're getting, the production value.
Right.
Wow.
No, yeah, it's getting pretty good. Yeah.
No, so there's like that, and that's what I'm loving. Like that's the thing. Like where I've said many times over on this channel, I don't really care about stuff going as like they say it going woke or anything like that, because we have every movie about a guy like me. Every single story that could be told hasn't just been told. It's been told like 5 different times.
Right, yeah.
I'm good. Those movies are not getting better. They made them. And a lot of those, they've already made the perfect version of that story. Move on. These foreign countries getting to tell their stories, I'm loving it. Like, yeah. I know I talk about like PC and woke and stuff like that every once in a while, but the absolute reality of it is I'm not against it. I'm actually for a lot of it. I just, not everything's perfect.
That's the thing. Yeah. I think for me, most of the time, it's more about like I feel like people are raising a stink just to raise a stink. Like this is kind of like,
people bitch to bitch.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of goes back to like some of the earliest days of like, internet culture where like before we had phrases like no spoilers and spoiler alert and stuff like that. So like when these are the things that these terms were created for, because too many people wanted to be the first ones to have something to say about something. So these people, you'd have folks rushing to the movie theater to watch a movie and then rushing back home to get on camera and be the first to say everything there is to say about the movie. And it got nuts. No one could just go be surprised or enjoy a movie anymore. And so that's where we started getting the like demands for spoiler warnings and stuff like that.
That's also why opening weekends for box office movies now smash previous records, because people want to see it. They don't want to be spoiled. So they rush on opening day. That has massively skewed the numbers for a lot of movies.
Really has. Yeah. But yeah, we have a new version of it now where it's not just everyone wants to be the first to have an opinion about something. Everyone wants to be the first to say something bad about it, like to say why it's wrong. Why, if you are one of the millions of sheep that love this movie, this is why you're wrong. Like, that's the new hot commodity of being the first one to explain why everyone's an idiot but you, or my audience member, or me, the grand on high.
Right? Yeah. Everybody but us. All the other. Yeah, no, that's so dumb, man. There's something to love about everything.
That's the thing, yeah. And it's really, it's like, what was that? Who was that fucking commentator who, when WAP came out, like literally came out on
Ben Shapiro?
Okay, who that was? Yeah, like literally came out and confessed to his audience that he's never made his wife horny in his entire life because he just had to talk about how bad that song was. It's like, it's because he's shackled to the trending formula. Whatever the most trending topic is, he has to get on and talk about why that's bad. That's his whole fucking formula.
Oh my God.
And if it's something like that, he's stuck. He's got to sit there and go like, you mean I got to sit here and go on camera and tell millions of people that my wife's never wanted to fuck me my entire life? Really? That's okay. I guess that's where the money is. And, that poor dumb son of a bitch. Like, Jesus.
My favorite meme that came out of that was Ben Shapiro like doing the nah to Squirt soda, and then being like, yeah, to Canada Dry.
Oh God. That's mean, but I approve. I totally approve.
Good.
Because he is a piece of shit. I don't really feel that bad for him.
No, not even a little bit. I mean, but that's how it is with like all professional haters and stuff like that. But and I can't just dog on like Shapiro, because man, I need to take a break from TYT every once in a while, because they drink the haterade so hard. It's like that like the actress from Wicked, who, when they edited the image for the poster to make it more accurate to the Green Witch and everything like that, because it was a black actress who had red lips, she like went full bore. She's like, this dehumanizes all of us and all this. A couple of days later, she's like, okay, yeah, I responded too hard. Like, after talking to a couple of my friends, I realized that I got caught up in I need to defend the social justice type thing, but no, that is not what that was. That was just the fans and the. No, that was a little controversy. It wasn't a big one because she walked it back immediately. She's like, I'm sorry, guys, that was dumb. It's like, thank you. You can recognize that you went too hard in the paint and you can come back on it. Not everything needs to be controversy.
Right, exactly, yes.
I know that, I mean, okay, come on. When the day comes that like somebody edits me on the body of the woman from Total Recall with 3 boobs, I might be insulted. I might be turned on. I don't know how narcissistic I am. I'm guessing on that day I'm going to find out. But I mean, you got to take all this stuff and laugh about it.
Yeah, totally.
I already put that image in my head, and yeah, no, it doesn't turn me on.
No, yeah, can't say. That's the thing. No one was more shocked than I that when I saw that movie. I was like, no, I'm not into that. Weird.
You know what? I caught, as a pervy little teenager myself, I caught a lot of those jokes too. Like, oh, that's Brett. I'm like, nah. I don't know why, but no.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was, when they did Total Recall, the remake, and they did it again, but they made it look even better. I'm like, that somehow made it worse.
Right.
I don't understand the principle behind that one either. But I gotta say, I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like the fact that they had Craig in that movie. Craig? Crane? Krang?
Oh, Krang?
Krang, that's what it was, yeah. It's been a long time for me, man.
Right.
Like, you got kids. It's been more recent for you. It's been a long time.
Right.
No, God. We have not covered one Arnold Schwarzenegger film on our channel yet.
Oh, we haven't. Oh, interesting. I'm trying.
We should
Well,
come
I
up. We
mean,
should come up with. We
that's a
cannot do Hercules in New York. I do not want to watch
no.
that.
Well, that's the thing is like that. That's kind of a tough one because with our whole kind of like
Have you and
must see
haven't you?
movies. Yeah, it's like the must see movies that maybe are forgotten, or something like that. Like when it comes to Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, they are either already known classics that everyone is repeatedly seeing, or let's not talk about this. You like it's one of
Basically,
the
yeah.
two. So it's
But
kind of a tough call.
what would be your favorite Schwarzenegger film to jump in? Like, what is your favorite?
I mean, okay, if I was
Probably
going to pick a
Predator,
favorite,
right?
no, for a favorite, it would definitely a Schwarzenegger film would definitely be Terminator 2 for sure. Um,
Ooh, obvious,
yeah,
obvious, obvious. I did not
that's the
think
thing.
you. I didn't think you would go for the obvious. I thought you would have. I thought you would. I thought you would have some like the background flick or something like that. Yeah, but
Yeah, but no,
for me,
no,
for
yeah,
me, it's actually kind of a toss up between Junior and Twins.
okay. See, I could see Twins. Twins was definitely kind of and I could see that as being something that we could even cover because that was kind of one of those out there, lesser known, and it was mainly about the what The Rock and Kevin Hart have now. Schwarzenegger and DeVito started back in the '90s with Twins. It really was kind of a beginning of a good comedy formula right there.
That is
I
true.
did
Well,
not
and
care for Junior
yeah,
at all.
because DeVito's in Junior too.
Yeah.
Okay, see that's kind of the thing. I saw Junior when I was a little kid,
Mm.
and it was my big ass huge action hero getting all up in drag and going and doing
Right.
Lamaze classes and stuff like that. I was dying.
Okay. Yeah.
It was incredible for me. But the shock value and everything like that, it may not be there. Like I don't
No,
like that
probably
might
not.
not. Yeah. But no, Twins,
Well,
I
see,
watched
here's.
Twins pretty recently and it holds up perfectly.
Oh yeah, nice. See, I imagined it would because especially with Arnold playing that whole like Clark Kent country boy bit, I imagine that's something that never would get old.
No.
Um, and
Him on the plane singing "Take out the papers and the trash"
right, yeah. And
every
when the guy
time, man.
when the guy on the bike tries to steal his bag and face plants it, like that's that, and Arnold barely even notices that he was there, and he's like, "Oh, are you okay?" Like, oh god, that's comedy gold right there.
Yeah,
Um,
DeVito and Schwarzenegger. Too good.
no,
You know
but
what?
the was interesting about Junior.
An impossible.
I remember going to see that in the theater with my parents, and all three of us kind of hated it. We didn't really like it, and we were all very confused because we are also all like one of the reasons we were excited to go see it was because of Twins. We all loved Twins so much, and we were like, "Hey, they're back. The gang is back together. Let's do this." But we just didn't. None of us liked Junior at all. And I remember like we were even like, well, what did the like? It wasn't until after we saw it that we went to like the newspaper to like see what the critics were saying about it. Like, is there something we're missing here? And the interesting thing, like that my dad pointed out as he was reading through the paper, because some of the Oregonian did even back in the day, was that they would have their review and then they would be, and also here's like a rundown of what the other papers around the nation are saying about it. And it literally was the Oregonian gave Junior 2 stars. Every other paper in the country gave it 4 or 5. So
Just Portlanders, huh?
that's the thing is like me and my parents were sitting there going like, did we get a different cut of the film or something? Was there some sort of experiment run to see what would happen if they sent a different version of the movie somewhere? Like we honestly were like, that is weird that we just seem to not care for this for some reason. Everyone else loved it. And I have never gone back to revisit the movie. I have never seen it a second time. I just remember that whole odd little experience with it.
I just saw the title "Jingle All the Way," and I remembered that somebody said like this is white privilege, the movie.
Yeah, that movie was fucking crazy, is what that was.
But I'm getting reminded of some of it. But a movie that is pretty low rated, and I thought was actually good. I think I can't remember. It's been a long time. End of Days.
End of Days. I feel like I've seen that one, but I'm not.
That's one of the
Maybe I
ones
didn't.
that, yeah, I don't think a lot of people enjoyed it, but I actually really liked that one.
What can you remind me what it's about? Because I'm not picturing anything.
It's apocalyptic, the devil, everything like that. Like there was, I think that year it was Stigmata came out and End of Days came out. So it was
Oh, I
like
do remember that. Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing Stigmata.
loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe yeah, I just didn't get around to End of Days because yeah, that looked like kind of like, oh, that's the cheap version of Stigmata. Why waste my time? Like
I can't really tell you if it's the cheap version or not because as I'm sitting here going through the scenes in the two movies, I'm having a trouble remembering which one belonged to which movie.
oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, I mean
Interesting.
it's Schwarzenegger. It's but here's the thing about it. Let me tell you the movies that he was doing right before that. So, where was it? Where was it? That was okay. So that was '99. So what he did right before that was Batman and Robin.
Oh, right.
Right before
Right. Yeah.
that was Jingle All the Way.
Oh man. Oh man.
Not long
No
before
wonder
that
he decided to get into politics.
was Junior. So here's the run because we had True Lies, awesome movie, incredible
Yeah.
movie. Then we had Junior, Eraser, not that good. Jingle All the Way, Batman and Robin, End of Days, The Sixth Day, like Collateral Damage was not that good either. Like Terminator 3.
You know what might be an interesting one to revisit? Because I do remember it like being one of those movies that when it came out, people either loved or hated. There seemed to be a very even split on it. And considering the subject matter, it'd be interesting to see how it plays today. And that would be Last Action Hero.
I was thinking about that. I was looking at that one and I was
Yeah.
thinking a lot of people will have seen it, but a lot of people will have not.
Yeah.
And there is not an actor in that movie that is not A-list.
No, it's true. Yeah.
And a lot of them just
it's-
kept getting better.
That's the thing, and it would be a question of like I wonder how much of it because it was very much a movie of its time. That was a movie that was a commentary of action films of that era. I'd be curious to see how it holds up. You know,
We don't
'Cause we're
have
talking-
action heroes anymore.
not like we used to. No, that's for
No,
sure.
the action
This-
heroes
this
we
was-
have, like we got Keanu Reeves.
Right. I was gonna say this was pre Matrix is what this is. Like we have a whole new industry now instead of what was going on back then. So yeah.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is like the type of actor, like everything like that. Like our action heroes are Iron Man, Captain America. Like
Yeah.
they're not the individual actors like they used to be. Sure, like I said, we have Keanu Reeves.
Right.
Who else?
But even that is kind of mostly it's John Wick,
yeah,
and that's kind of it. Yeah.
I did
guess
watch
The
40.
Rock.
I did watch 47. Oh, I don't.
Rock
you're
and Vin-
you're completely
and Vin
right.
Diesel. Yeah.
You're
and Vin
completely
Diesel.
correct. Not Vin Diesel.
I mean, he's maybe not up there, but he's basically kind of the same thing. It's like whether it's Fast and the Furious or
He's
was
like
that
the
one?
he's
He
like
just-
he's like the father figure of the action family,
right.
but
It's all about family.
yeah, I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Right.
Cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I like a lot of his movies. I'm not knocking Vin Diesel in any way. I think he's actually a pretty good dude. I remember there was one time he said if DVD sales got up to a certain point on one of his Riddick movies, he would dance live to Katy Perry. And then
Okay.
he did it. So
Okay. All right.
yeah, no, like I got love for the man. He's entertaining. I really do. I just don't see him as the action guy. I see him as the grumbly voice guy.
Okay. Interesting.
He's Groot.
Because I mean, I don't think of him as anything else. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, he's the voice of Groot, but I mean, you don't see him there, and so it's like when I think Vin Diesel, I think Riddick, and I think, you know,
Yeah, but
and
what action?
Too
Like
Fast,
what?
Too Furious, and all that.
Okay, let's go. Let me be clear here. A few years ago, I would say yes.
Okay.
Not really anymore. The Rock still yes. Vin Diesel, he's the action guy behind the wheel of a car. He doesn't have the amazing fight sequences. He doesn't have the chase downs. He doesn't there's not like the heavy anticipation for these things. It's
not heavy anticipation, but I feel like I just saw something of his like less than a year ago.
Jason Statham is an action hero.
He's up there, yes, for sure. Yeah. No, I feel like I just saw a Vin Diesel action vehicle just like last year that had just come out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, because I have the brain I have, I just keep thinking of his Street Shark commercial.
I have no idea what that is.
No. Yeah, Vin Diesel did a what is it called? Telemercial? Infomercial? The QVC thing. What are those called?
Oh, like a shopping channel type infomercial. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, infomercial, okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was Vin Diesel with like the puppet Street Sharks, and he's like, "Get ready for Street Sharks!" And it they didn't cut his face out or anything, so it's like he's got like the shark here, and you just see his face in the background doing to make the noises. It's freaking hilarious, man.
Bloodshot. That's it. Bloodshot.
Oh, I saw a trailer for that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I actually watched the movie.
Was it good? You didn't say anything about it. By the way,
it was okay.
Hold up. By the way, happy 1 year anniversary of the show and the channel.
No shit, really? Wow, good for us.
I should have written that down but that was what spurred the idea of doing the reading. And I was going to bring that up. Because we started the channel to build up an audience for the book and like that, and then after a year of building content in the audience, we actually did it. Like I meant to actually bring that up on the main show. I'll have to do it next week.
Right? Yeah. Yep. No. Happy anniversary. Yeah. I'm impressed with us for keeping with it all this time and very few breaks.
Almost. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Very few breaks. We've had two protracted breaks. The first one, neither of us were happy about. We were like, I guess, it's the end of season 1. We got to take a month off, and then like a week later, we were like, do we have to take a whole month off?
We should not have done that live. We should have done what we said we were gonna do. We just, ambition.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, that was. Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's been a year.
Mm-hmm.
And what I need to do at some point, go through like a bunch of the episodes and go from like my long hair and go all the way through and then do get a clip from each one, like where I'm doing a voice or some way to keep it funny. But I think just doing the hair thing with the clips would make that a more entertaining short to watch.
No, for sure. Yeah. A montage of the evolution of your hair as it goes by. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see. I don't know if I've lost any more gray in my beard than when we started, but yeah, I'd be interested to see how that went too, you know.
Here, let me see.
Oh, can you pull up like first episodes right now?
Yeah, I can do that right here.
Okay. All right. Oh, speaking of DVD sales, I actually have a follow-up from something we talked about last week concerning DVD sales.
What's up?
So we were talking about, how there used to be a time where DVD sales were a part of the income. Like even a show that wasn't doing so well might still survive from DVD sales. And I mentioned that there was a TV show that actually was getting renewed because of DVD sales, and I couldn't remember which one. I went and looked it up and found out it was Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah. The first 3 seasons, and then came back.
Canceled in 2002 and then renewed in 2005, 3 years later, because of record DVD sales. Fox was like, "Oh shit, I guess we better make more." And I guess from what I read,
which prompts the opening of season 4, which is the greatest opening of any like. Oh my god, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't think I remember. No.
Peter comes in and he says, "Guys, I got bad news. We've been canceled." And then Lois like, "Oh no! Like, is there anything we can do?" And he's like, "Well, if Titus and Firefly and like just listed like this huge list, like well, Fox just has to make room for all these great shows." And she's like, "Is there anything that we could do?" It's like, "Well, if all of them get canceled, I guess maybe we have a chance." And then it goes into the intro.
Wow,
Phenomenal fourth wall break.
that's pretty cold, but yeah, funny as hell. Yeah.
That and season 4 of Family Guy is the season that gave us the PTV episode, which is the song that him, Stewie, and Brian sing about censorship on TV.
Okay.
Best Family Guy song, set aside from Prom Night Dumpster Baby. I love Family Guy. I could go for a while on this one. I'm just a prom night dumpster baby. Dude, I love that.
But that is kind of crazy to think that a show can get canceled, and then because its DVD sales are so good, it gets renewed, and that renewed version sticks around for another 20 freaking years. Like,
I'm so sorry that I got derailed that hard on the DVD sales conversation.
Apparently a similar thing happened with Futurama, but I couldn't find the actual numbers on that one. But it's rumored that it was the same thing. So Family Guy and Futurama both apparently were either canceled or going to be canceled, but then were saved by how well their DVD sales went. And so, yeah, that's kind of, and I remember that was even a thing back in the early days of YouTube, like the Felicia Day show, The Guild. Like they put they put that show up on YouTube for free. It made money when they finished the season and started selling it as a DVD. That's where the money came from, and so it's like there once upon a time was where DVDs was where you made your money, and for some reason now the studios just straight up refuse to do that. Instead, it's all opening weekend or die, and that doesn't make any fucking sense, except it makes sense if your entire life lives and breathes by the stock market and nothing else.
There is that.
Yeah.
That's how this goes.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm looking at our test episode of The Last Supper and Lightning Jack.
Right.
I want to say yes, but at the same time, your lighting has gotten better, so that brings the white out in your beard more.
Okay. So hard to say then. Okay.
Yeah, a little tough to say. I'm going to take a look at the next episode.
If I remember correctly, it took me some months to get that lighting working properly, to actually light myself right.
I have a definitive answer. Yes. Your white is getting whiter going this way. Okay. The white is spreading.
Okay. In one direction? Like this one's staying right where it's at, but this one's moving this way?
No, literally this mark right here is the exact same, but your white on this side is more now. The things you learn.
That's not at all concerning, I'm sure. I'm sure that's a perfectly natural thing to have happen at my age.
You cannot care about having white hair, man.
Not me.
I'm looking forward to it. My mom has outstandingly cool silver hair. Like I really, really want that. I'm hoping I get it. I mean, I'm almost 40 and I still have a pretty good head of hair, so I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sure, yeah.
All right, we're in the last minute of the show. Do you have anything else that you want to cover before we finish up the after hour?
Nope. Yeah, the only note I had was the Family Guy thing on DVD sales.
Oh my God, I actually had notes on the after hour this week, but we just did the writing thing.
Yeah, well, and there was also actually no the only thing I had, because when we stopped on talking about the book versus the movie when we stopped the episode, and we were going to talk about it during the after hour, and we did not. The only note I have on that
book versus movie.
The two movies that I can remember actually reading the book of and being able to compare them there's two: Jurassic Park and John Dies at the End. And it's reverse on both of those. With Jurassic Park, I read the book first actually a good like 3 years before the movie came out, and so I actually didn't remember the book at all, and so I basically went in fresh. I got to enjoy to its fullest extent both versions that way. I read the book, waited 3 years, saw the movie. Both were excellent in my opinion.
I saw that movie when I was a kid, and I read the book sitting in a checkpoint in Iraq in like one day.
Nice.
I read a lot of books in Iraq.
Yep. But when John dies at the end, I went the opposite. I read the book, and then when I heard that there was a movie out for it, I watched the movie almost right away. And so I had the book very fresh in my mind when I saw the movie, and it was not bad. I would say the differences between the book and the movie are almost entirely things they had to cut for the sake of time, and I think they did a good job of it. So I would say watch the movie first. And if you enjoy the movie at all, you're going to love the book because it's basically the same thing, but more.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to bring an end to the After Hour this week. We will be back on. Actually, next week we're going to be on Tuesday because we're going to switch up the formula a little bit. We're going to do a reaction and podcast attempt and see how that goes. So if you want to join us on Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Okay, Tuesday, 7 p.m. I'll
Tuesday,
be here.
7 p.m. All
I
right,
may not be nearly as awake as I usually am on Thursdays, but I will do my damnedest to try.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. All right, we will see you guys next week. All right.